How's it going, guys? So this clip, not going to be lengthy, right? This is just students have been asking me about Amboss versus UWorld. Holy shit! And the past couple clips I put out here on the YouTube about how to prep for step one and step two in 2023. I mentioned that it is my updated slash current view that UWorld and Amboss are non-superior to each other, and that you can use either for prep. Okay, for step one and step two, and then of course, I got bombarded with, OMG, why is that your updated view? Because, yes, in the past, I made plenty of videos saying unequivocally to UWorld over Amboss. Amboss was newer at the time. I mean, that's how these things work, okay? It's if a new QBank pops up next year, I'm not going to automatically be saying, yes, do that over UWorld or Amboss, right? So, I mean, I'm agnostic about which QBank is better. It's just I make observations as far as student loads over time. Students I work with one-on-one who've used one or both QBanks, their feedback, and then in addition, Telegram group that we have. Okay, and by all means, links are down below. I observe what students say about these QBanks or questions that students will screenshots that students will post from these QBanks that can strike me as exceedingly nitpicky or just off the mark explanations. Okay, and of course the latter is going to be, a small sample of questions. You take 100 solid questions, one is pedantic and nitpicky, and then it can appear as though the entire QBank. So I'm not over extrapolating in that sense or overgeneralizing, but my updated view is that Amboss and UWorld non-superior to each other. UWorld overpriced, okay? Now, I don't want to make price a huge issue in the sense that the same way on the usmle, if an MRI is better for the patient instead of an ultrasound, you have to do an MRI. usmle will have MRI as the answer. They don't incorporate, oh, well, ultrasound is cheaper. They don't use that type of thought process. It's about what's best for the patients, okay? Well, likewise, even if in my personal view, I happen to think, yes, UWorld is egregiously overpriced based on their growth of brand over time, good for them. And if I truly thought it were better, however, if that's my actual view, I would still say unequivocally, you're going to do UWorld over Amboss, okay? But that's not my view. Plenty of students do Amboss. Their scores go up perfectly well / solidly. Likewise, you get plenty of people who will do UWorld twice, 3 times, and their scores don't go up. Okay, so in terms of the superfluousness of the QBank, so UWorld's overpriced in comparison to Amboss. That's a negative for UWorld. The superfluousness of both QBanks is there. UWorld probably worse than Amboss only because UWorld has more questions. Okay, step 2, for instance, you've got over 4,000 questions in UWorld. I believe it's around 3,300-ish for Amboss the time this clip, May 2023, but in both QBanks, you're going to have superfluousness, okay, with regard to the explanations. In other words, stuff that they write and that you're reading in terms of, oh, do I need to know this for the exam? Off the mark, okay? I'm not a fan of explanations just delivering broad information for the sake of it. The way I like to teach information is just, this is what you need to know for the exam, not waste our fucking time. That's how my PDFs are written, okay? That's how I produce my content, my YouTube MCQs as well. I cut to the chase. So I don't like students where they're I don't like the notion of a student who's trying to just fucking pass, reading through hundreds of lines, thousands of lines of text to extract a few pieces of information that might show up in the exam. Waste of fucking time. I don't like that. Both QBanks, unfortunately, they're superfluous, but life's about alternatives. We can't complain when they're still going to increase your score and you need to do a QBank. So Amboss has a library of information. Some students prefer that, okay? So I will literally, it's like politics. You get some people who they have views on gun control or abortion, and you get people who are very polarized. Some people really like Amboss versus UWorld. Okay, people can get emotional about like which QBank they want to do. So, in short consolidation here, okay, it's UWorld is overpriced in comparison to Amboss in my view. Both Q banks are superfluous. However, both are going to increase your score non-superior to each other. So when I choose a Q bank, a primary Q bank for a student to do for both step 1 and step 2, it literally will be a deregulated toss-up, as in an improvised toss-up in my mind, as far as if the student's coming to me with a clean slate, okay, can do either Q bank, I'll just assess the student situation, say, okay, I think we'll use Amboss here, I think we'll use UWorld here, doesn't matter, okay? If a student has come to me and said, yes, I've already done UWorld in the past, didn't pass my comp, didn't pass my usmle as an example, and then he or she is sitting on the subscription, I might just change over to Amboss. That's what I do sometimes. Very, very rare that a student will have done Amboss already and not having touched UWorld, okay? I think that's going to flip in time, possibly, especially putting out content as I am here saying they're non-superior. That's only going to help influence people to do either one of them rather than UWorld as a mandate, okay? So I'll put out more clips as far as how to go through the Q banks. I've talked about that by all means in prior clips, but I will make updated clips as far as I prefer tutor untimed random mode, generally 40 to 80 questions per day, but I will put out more clips as far as how to go through the Q banks. You know the deal. To make more content. If you like my stuff, subscribe my channel. Appreciate your time. That's it.